The Bubble is the latest film from comedy director Judd Apatow. It released on Netflix and follows the story of a bunch of actors trying to muster their way through a COVID pandemic movie, trying to release a movie in the COVID pandemic. Yeah, I had heard about this movie a couple of weeks ago. I had little to no interest in it. I mean, there was one deciding factor in me watching it, and that is Judd Apatow's last movie being The King of Staten Island. This is one of my favorite movies of the decade so far, honestly. It was really up there for one of my favorite movies of 2020. This movie is great. It captures everything I would ever want in a Pete Davidson-led movie, and kind of captures his entire appeal and kind of his spark of popularity back in 2020. So yeah, this is a phenomenal movie. I love this thing. So I in my head I was kind of like, this looks terrible, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, let's just jump right into my thoughts on The Bubble. This thing was bad. It was really, really bad. Unsurprisingly. The script was so weirdly unfunny. There was just a lack of jokes overall. There was a lack of a serious lack of self-awareness. So this didn't even feel like satire. It just felt like a weird sketch experiment kind of thing. The guy from X-Files in this movie is atrocious. He may have proved that he cannot act with this film alone. He was terrible in this movie. I mean, Karen Gillian was fine. Pedro Pascal was funny at points. Keegan-Michael Peele was fine. Like, those are the saving graces of the movie that made it a little bit watchable. And I'm not going to say it's like the worst thing in the world, but this is so unfunny and so obnoxious and so just strung together and just low effort that it really... It's almost indescribable how mediocrely bad this movie is. I turned the fucking timer off. Okay. How just... I don't know, how lame this movie is. How not well written it is. How everyone in this movie just lazily gives a terrible performance, or Judd Apatow phones it in the entire time behind the camera and writing the script. It's like a painfully unfunny episode of, what is that show called? Docu-something with Bill Hader and, the guy in this movie. What is it called? I'm gonna cut really quick and look up the name and then come right back. Documentary Now is the title of the show. I adore that show, but there are some episodes that are just painful, like really unfunny, and that's what this movie really closely reminds me of, but just a worse version of that, because this thing's bad. The Bubble is really uninteresting. It's very painful to sit through. It's a long 2 hours. It has no right being this long, and it's not great. It's really just not great. It's not the worst thing I've seen all year. Like, it's not worse than Morbius or Hotel Transylvania, but it's up there. It'll probably make my worst list. Yeah, The Bubble was something else. Let's say I'm gonna give it a very light C-. Did not enjoy this thing whatsoever. So that's my quick thoughts on The Bubble. Kind of low effort because this movie gave me almost nothing to talk about. I just wanted to get my quick thoughts out there. I'm going to be... it depends on how I feel about the movie. I'm either going to do a 1-minute review of, or do a full review of Apollo 10.5, the new Richard Linklater movie, because I'm very excited to watch that tonight. I'm also going to be doing a 1-minute review of The Death on the Nile, because that just dropped to HBO Max. And on Friday, I will be seeing Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And hopefully this weekend, I will get you guys that top 10 best movies of 2021 list. Me and Cam have to schedule it. That's all that we're waiting on. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know what you guys thought of The Bubble. If you had any enjoyment out of this thing. But yeah, I will see you guys later.